Listen carefully, because this may be the single turning point of your entire life. Success is not born from bursts of effort. It is engineered through systems, deliberate, structured, repeatable systems that make winning inevitable. If you want to rise, stop chasing motivation. Build machinery around your goal that forces progress, whether you feel like it or not. Start with clarity. Write down your goal in precise terms with a deadline. No vague dreams, exact targets. What does it look like? What date? What number? Put it where? You see it daily. A system cannot run without a clear destination. Then build the daily engine. Cut your goal into simple daily steps. Small, measurable actions done with military discipline. One brick every day. Not random sprints, but a steady march. Systems transform chaos into certainty. Shape your environment. Remove distractions. Remove temptations. Surround yourself with triggers that pull you toward your tasks automatically. If your environment makes failure easy, success will always be hard. Enforce accountability. Tell someone. Report results. Public commitment creates private discipline. When you know someone will ask if you followed through, your excuses shrink. Track your numbers. Every day, measure what matters. Numbers reveal truth. They cut through self-deception. If the numbers aren't improving, your system isn't working, fix it. Simplify and automate. Eliminate low-value actions. Automate repetitive work. Free your mind to focus only on moves that directly push you toward the goal. Adapt without mercy. If a method isn't working, kill it fast. Don't get emotional about tactics. Stay loyal only to results. Systems evolve or they die. Protect your energy and mindset. Guard your sleep, your focus, your body. A collapsing body cannot carry a rising dream. High performance demands high energy. And finally, show up every single day. Relentless consistency beats intensity. The system works only if you work it. No excuses, no breaks, no waiting for inspiration. This is how the few rise above the masses, not by wishing, but by building systems that make success unavoidable. Decide, build, execute, and do it again tomorrow. Without clarity, power is wasted, like sunlight scattered instead of focused into fire. This is where most people fail. Before they even begin, they never define what they truly want. They stumble through life chasing vague wishes, floating from one distraction to the next, hoping that somehow the universe will reward their uncertainty. It never does. The world does not move for the undecided. It moves for the precise, the committed, the ones who stand up and declare exactly where they are going. A goal must be definite, so clear that it burns in your mind like a branding iron. You must know it in numbers, in timelines, in vivid detail. If you say, I want to be successful, you've already lost. That word means nothing. Success to whom? In what? By when? The mind cannot chase a fog. You must name it, frame it, and make it measurable. Say instead, I will earn $100,000 by December 31st of this year through my business. Now the mind has something solid to attack. Now your energy has a target. Clarity creates direction, and direction creates momentum. Without it, your actions scatter in every direction like arrows shot without aiming. With it, every choice becomes simpler. You either move closer or you move away. That clarity becomes a filter. It tells you what to say yes to, and more importantly, what to say no to. When the goal is definite, distraction loses its power. You stop chasing every shiny thing. You stop wasting your days on meaningless activity. You begin to move like a guided missile, locked, relentless, unshakable. Understand this. The human mind is a machine of astonishing power, but it requires instructions. It cannot give you what you want until you command it precisely. When your goal is vague, your mind has nothing to organize around. It stays scattered, confused, restless. But when your goal is definite, the subconscious begins rearranging your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, even your perception of opportunities. You start noticing chances you never saw before. You start attracting people, ideas, and resources that match the picture in your mind. That is not magic. That is the mind obeying a clear order. Write it down. This is not optional. Writing burns clarity into your nervous system. Put your definite goal on paper in a single clear sentence. Read it every morning. Read it every night. Carry it in your pocket if you must. The repetition etches it into your subconscious. The more you see it, the more real it becomes, until doubt is replaced by certainty and certainty becomes movement. And attach a deadline. A dream without a deadline is just fantasy. A deadline turns it into a mission. It activates urgency. The clock becomes your ally, pushing you to act now, not someday. The mind works harder under pressure. Set the date. Commit to it. Burn the bridge behind you. Decide there is no retreat. Only forward. Do not ask, can I achieve this? Ask instead, what system must I build to achieve this? That is the mindset of clarity. Because once the goal is definite, your brain shifts from doubt to design. It stops questioning the possibility and starts searching for the path. That is the power of a definite goal. It turns hesitation into strategy. Be warned, clarity demands courage. The moment you declare your goal openly, fear will whisper. It will tell you it's too big, too hard, too unlikely. Ignore it. Fear only strikes when it knows you are on the edge of growth. Most people run back to safety the moment fear speaks. Champions burn that bridge and keep going. They understand that fear is simply the shadow cast by a massive future. Guard your goal from the opinions of the average. The average person fears the definite. They will tell you to be realistic, which means stay small like me. Do not listen. They are not defending truth, they are defending their comfort. Protect your clarity from their doubt. Surround yourself with people who see your vision and push you to expand it. Once your goal is definite, build your days around it. Let it decide your priorities. If an action does not serve the goal, eliminate it. Ruthlessly. Your time is the fuel of your future. Do not spend it on anything that doesn't move the mission forward. This is how clarity becomes power. It concentrates your effort into a straight line instead of scattering it into 1,000 dead ends. Clarity is not just knowing what you want. It is deciding that nothing else will satisfy you. It is planting your flag and saying, this is mine, and I will not stop until it is real. That level of decision is rare, which is why greatness is rare. But once you make it, life bends, obstacles shrink, doubt fades, the path may still be hard, but it becomes simple. There is only one direction, forward. Remember this truth and write it deep into your soul. Until your goal is definite, you are powerless. The moment it becomes definite, you become unstoppable. Decide, declare, commit. That is the first and greatest step toward building any system that will carry you to victory. Goals are useless without daily systems. Dreams die where discipline is missing. This is where the battle is truly won or lost. Most people set goals like lighting fireworks, bright, loud, full of excitement for a moment, and then they fade into silence. They never build the machinery to keep moving when the excitement fades. And make no mistake, excitement will fade. If your future depends on how you feel, you've already lost. Systems are what carry you when emotion vanishes. Systems are what make success inevitable. A system is a precise daily structure that converts your energy into results. It is not a vague plan. It is a schedule that tells you exactly what must be done, at what time, in what quantity, and to what standard. It removes choice, it removes hesitation, and it removes weakness. When the alarm goes off, the system speaks, do this now, and you obey, not because you feel like it, but because it is the law of your future. You must break your grand goal into small, measurable actions that can be done every single day, not big, heroic leaps. Tiny, consistent strikes. One brick every day builds an empire. Decide what the brick is for your goal. If your goal is wealth, your daily system might be, make 20 sales calls. Study market data for 30 minutes. Write one marketing piece. Review revenue numbers. If your goal is fitness, your system might be train at 7 a.m., track calories every meal, sleep at 10 p.m. These are not suggestions. They are commands. Write them down and commit. Your system must be non-negotiable. You do not argue with it. You do not delay it. You do not wait for motivation to appear. Motivation is fragile. Systems are steel. The moment you leave room for feelings, discipline collapses. Treat your system as law. It is the contract you sign with your future. Break it and you betray yourself. Keep it and you rise. Design your environment to support the system. If the gym is your battlefield, lay your clothes out the night before. If deep work is required, block your phone with apps, lock your door, and clear your desk. Every barrier you remove increases the probability of success. Every friction you eliminate gives your system more power. Systems thrive when your environment pulls you forward instead of resisting you. Track your daily actions with ruthless honesty. This is crucial. A system is only real if it can be measured. Create a simple scoreboard. Check marks, streak counters, habit trackers, spreadsheets. It doesn't matter what tool you use, only that it makes your behavior visible. When you can see your actions in black and white, excuses die. You can no longer lie to yourself. Progress becomes undeniable, or lack of it becomes unacceptable. Build your system so small at first that failure is impossible. This is how momentum is created. Most people fail because they try to change everything at once. They launch giant systems they cannot sustain and collapse under their own ambition. Begin with simple, consistent actions you can win at every day. Success loves small beginnings. Momentum is born from victory, not from overwhelm. Once the habit locks in, raise the standard. Expand gradually, and your system becomes unbreakable. Time block your day. Assign hours to your priorities. Do not leave your time open like a field where distractions can run wild. Put your most important task first, when your mind is sharpest. This is called front-loading your success. When the hardest work is done early, the rest of the day becomes easier. When the hardest work is delayed, it usually dies. Systems depend on sequence. Protect your sequence. Attach meaning to the system. Remind yourself daily why these actions matter. Systems are mechanical, but your soul must stay alive. Behind every task is the life you are building. When you remember this, discipline becomes devotion. The work becomes sacred, not just necessary. Every action becomes a brick in the monument of your destiny. Be prepared to defend your system. Life will try to break it. Emergencies will appear. Distractions will disguise themselves as opportunities. Weak people will beg you to join their comfort. You must protect your structure with aggression. Guard your schedule like a fortress. Say no without apology. Every yes to nonsense is a no to your system, and therefore a no to your future. Understand this truth: systems are stronger than willpower. Willpower is emotional. It fades. Systems are mechanical. They run whether you are tired or inspired. Once a system becomes your default, you win without even thinking about it. That is the secret of every high achiever. Their results look extraordinary to the outside world, but to them, it is just another day following the system. And when you slip, because at some point you will, never miss twice. The key is not perfection. The key is recovery. Get back on the system the very next day with double force. A single crack repaired quickly becomes invisible. A crack left alone becomes collapse. Forgive nothing. Correct everything. That is the mindset of a system builder. The greatest trap is waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Start anyway. Build the system while you are uncertain. Let the system create the certainty. Each day you follow it, belief grows stronger. Confidence is the reward of execution, not the requirement for it. Act first, trust later. Remember this: every legendary achievement you admire was built on boring daily systems. The world sees the glory, they never see the grind. But the grind is where power is forged. Build your system, obey it, protect it, and watch as your life bends under the weight of your relentless consistency. Your environment shapes you more than your will. Design it to make success automatic. This is the hidden force most people ignore. They try to build powerful habits while living in environments that destroy them every day. They rely on discipline while surrounding themselves with triggers for distraction, temptation, and weakness. And then they wonder why they fail. The truth is brutal. Your surroundings are stronger than your intentions. You will eventually become whatever your environment rewards. That is why you must take control of it completely. If your environment makes bad behavior easy, you will fail no matter how much willpower you have. If your environment makes good behavior automatic, you will win almost without trying. That is the secret. Make success frictionless and failure inconvenient. Reshape your surroundings like an architect. Remove everything that feeds weakness. Add everything that fuels strength. Do not trust yourself to rise above your environment. Build an environment that forces you to rise. Begin with elimination. Audit your surroundings with ruthless honesty. Look at your room, your desk, your phone, your digital world. Every object, every app, every stimulus is either pulling you closer to your goal or dragging you further away. Remove everything that tempts you to waste time, indulge laziness, or numb your focus. Delete the apps, clear the clutter, throw out the junk. Make bad choices hard to reach, slow to access, annoying to do. You are not just cleaning a space, you are clearing a battlefield so victory becomes possible. Then create frictionless access to the habits that build your future. If you want to read every day, place books within arm's reach. If you want to train daily, lay your workout clothes and shoes out the night before. If you want to eat clean, fill your kitchen only with foods that match your goal. Do not rely on trying harder. Make the right action the easy action. Design your surroundings so that success requires less effort than failure. Control your digital environment as fiercely as your physical one. The phone in your pocket can be your greatest weapon or your deadliest enemy. Block distracting sites. Remove toxic notifications. Unfollow everything that poisons your focus or your self-belief. Flood your feeds only with content that fuels your goal, sharpens your mindset, and pushes you forward. Every scroll should remind you of your mission, not pull you away from it. If your phone weakens you, you are building your dreams on quicksand. Surround yourself with people who elevate your standards. The strongest environment of all is the company you keep. Human energy is contagious. If you spend time with the lazy, the negative, the small-minded, you will become like them. Their excuses will seep into your mind until you accept mediocrity as normal. Cut them off, cold, replace them with people who think big, move fast, and hold you accountable. Spend time around the driven, the disciplined, the obsessed. Their energy will infect you like fire, and your standards will rise without effort. Control your cues. Habits are built on triggers, small signals that tell your brain what to do next. Design your environment to constantly trigger your desired behavior. A journal on your pillow triggers nightly reflection. A water bottle on your desk triggers hydration. A vision board on your wall triggers daily focus on your goal. Fill your space with cues that whisper your mission to you all day long. The mind obeys what it sees most. So make sure it sees your future. Engineer your environment to make identity inescapable. Every object, every visual, every sound should scream who you are becoming. If your goal is to be a leader, fill your world with reminders of leadership. Books, quotes, mentors, symbols of responsibility. If your goal is to be a creator, surround yourself with tools of creation and remove tools of consumption. Identity builds from environment. Change your surroundings and you change what you believe you are. Protect your environment with aggression. Once you design it, defend it. Do not let chaos creep back in. Do not allow toxic people to poison it. Do not tolerate clutter, noise, or negativity. Guard your space like a fortress because your future depends on it. Every time you let a distraction back in, you weaken the system you are building. Every time you clean it out, you strengthen it. Your environment should be a temple to your vision, not a playground for your impulses. Understand this. Discipline struggles where environment fights it. Discipline thrives where environment supports it. If you keep trying to change yourself while your surroundings stay the same, you are trying to swim upstream forever. If you redesign your surroundings, you can ride the current to success. This is why the most powerful people in history build rituals, spaces, and routines that trap them inside their purpose. They do not leave greatness to chance. They make it the only option. Every habit you desire can be made natural if your environment demands it. Every weakness you despise can be erased if your environment starves it. Stop waiting for more willpower. Stop hoping to magically resist temptation. Build walls around your focus. Build pathways toward your future. Create an environment where the only logical thing to do is become who you are meant to be. Your environment is the silent architect of your destiny. Shape it with intention, or it will shape you by default. Strip it of weakness. Load it with power. Surround yourself with triggers for greatness, and eliminate every crack where failure can creep in. When your environment changes, your behavior changes. When your behavior changes, your life changes. That is the chain, and it all begins the moment you decide to build an environment so aligned with your purpose that success becomes automatic. Without accountability, discipline dissolves. Pressure turns commitment into action. This is the force that separates the dreamers from the finishers. Most people fall short of their goals not because they lack ambition, but because no one is watching. When no one is watching, weakness whispers louder. When no one is watching, delay becomes easy, excuses become reasonable, and standards quietly decay. Accountability is the invisible structure that keeps your commitment alive when motivation dies. It is the external pressure that forces your internal promise to stay real. The human mind is designed to protect comfort. Alone, it will negotiate with itself endlessly. It will rationalize procrastination. It will lower the bar to feel safe. But when you are accountable to someone else, when your word is public and your results are visible, your psychology changes. Pressure sharpens you. Fear of embarrassment, fear of disappointing others, and the pride of proving yourself drive you to deliver. That is why accountability is not weakness. Accountability is a weapon. The first step is to make your commitments public. Silence kills goals. Speak your intentions out loud to people who will not let you off the hook. Announce your deadlines. Declare your targets. When your goals live only in your head, they are fantasies. When your goals live in public, they become obligations. This one act instantly raises your standards. Your identity becomes tied to follow through, not wishes. Choose accountability partners who demand excellence. Do not pick friends who will comfort your excuses. Pick allies who will challenge your weakness. They must be people who intimidate you a little, who you respect deeply, and who refuse to tolerate mediocrity. When they ask for progress, give them results, not stories. Their disappointment should scare you more than failure itself. That fear will fuel execution when your energy is gone. Schedule regular check-ins. Accountability fades without rhythm. Weekly calls, daily reports, progress logs. The format does not matter as long as it is consistent. Each check-in becomes a deadline, and deadlines awaken urgency. When you know you must report results, you work. When you know no one is asking, you drift. Frequency creates pressure. Pressure creates performance. Use visible scoreboards to make your progress undeniable. Public tracking is powerful because it eliminates hiding. Build a wall calendar and mark every completed day with a bold 10th. Use a habit tracker and post your streak online. Track sales numbers, workout totals, pages written, whatever your system demands. When your results are visible to others, your brain shifts from try to must. Pride becomes tied to consistency. Breaking the streak becomes painful. That pain keeps you moving. Join groups where your desired behavior is normal. Nothing accelerates growth like entering an environment where excellence is the minimum standard. Mastermind groups, coaching circles, competitive teams, these are ecosystems of accountability. When surrounded by people who are relentless, you cannot stay average without feeling the pressure of shame. You are forced to rise or be left behind. That social force is far stronger than self-motivation. Place money on the line. Financial stakes trigger commitment like nothing else. Pay for coaching, mentoring, courses, training, anything that makes failure expensive. Humans hate losing money more than they love gaining it. When your wallet is on the line, your focus sharpens. What you pay for, you respect. Free commitments are easy to abandon. Paid commitments are defended like treasure. Use this to your advantage. Invest in your success so deeply that quitting would be humiliating. Tie your reputation to your performance. This is the ultimate accountability. Let your identity be at stake. Tell your circle that you are the kind of person who finishes everything you start. Tell them you always deliver, you always rise, you always keep your word. Once you declare this identity, your ego will force you to live up to it. Pride can do what motivation cannot. When your name depends on execution, you execute. Refuse to hide from feedback. Most people avoid feedback because it exposes weakness, but accountability requires radical honesty. Seek critique. Invite others to evaluate your progress. Their perspective slices through your delusions. Without feedback, you will drift into self-congratulation. With feedback, you stay sharp. Truth is painful, but pain is fuel. Welcome it. Understand this. Accountability is not about punishment. It is about power. It transforms your dreams from optional to non-negotiable. It turns "I'll try" into "I must." The presence of someone watching multiplies your drive. The pressure of public commitment forges your discipline. Alone, you are vulnerable. Surrounded by accountability, you become unstoppable. And when you stumble, because you will, do not hide. Report the failure. Admit it instantly. Accountability is strongest when you stay visible during defeat. Shame pushes most people into hiding, and hiding kills momentum. Face the fire. Announce your mistake, then declare your comeback. This boldness rewires your identity. It proves to everyone, and most importantly to yourself, that nothing breaks your commitment. If you want to achieve goals that scare you, build a system that forces you to rise. Build walls of accountability around your ambition. Make quitting public, make commitment visible, and make performance unavoidable. Place yourself under pressure until greatness becomes your only option. Accountability is the chain that drags you through resistance. Attach yourself to it, and watch how fast you become unstoppable. What you don't measure, you can't improve. Tracking is the backbone of achievement. Most people drift through their goals blind. They work hard but have no proof of progress, no numbers to sharpen their aim, no scoreboard to fuel their drive. And because they never measure, they cannot course correct, they cannot see growth, and they cannot sustain momentum. They stay trapped in the fog of effort without results. But the elite operate differently. They measure everything. They live by metrics. They transform vague hopes into precise targets and track them like hawks. This relentless measurement turns ambition into science, predictable, controllable, unstoppable. Measurement kills self-deception. The mind lies to protect ego, but numbers never lie. When you write down your daily habits, your weekly results, your monthly milestones, you expose the truth. You see exactly what is working and what is wasting your time. This clarity slices through excuses like a blade. Suddenly you cannot pretend you are trying. You see in black and white if you actually are. This honesty is painful, but it is also power. Only truth can build empires. Track your inputs and outputs relentlessly. Inputs are the actions you control, the hours practiced, the calls made, the workouts done, the pages written. Outputs are the results they produce, the sales closed, the weight lost, the skills gained, the followers built. Most people obsess over outputs while neglecting inputs. That is why they stay stuck. You cannot control outcomes directly, only actions. So track actions daily with religious consistency. If the actions are right and consistent, the results will follow automatically. Use measurement to build momentum. Every check mark is a spark of progress. Every log day is proof that you are moving forward. Momentum is psychological. The brain craves completion and hates breaking streaks. Use this to your advantage. Build chains of wins and guard them with your life. When you see a wall of completed days, you will push through fatigue just to protect it. That visual evidence becomes emotional fuel. Measurement must be fast, simple, and ruthless. Complexity kills consistency. If your tracking system takes more than a few minutes, you will quit. Use a notebook, an app, a wall chart, whatever removes friction. The tool is irrelevant. Consistency is everything. And when you track, do it honestly. No rounding up, no softening numbers. Brutal truth or nothing. This is war, not comfort. Review your data weekly. This is where transformation happens. Sit down, stare at your numbers, and ask what worked, what failed, what must change. Reflection turns data into wisdom. Without review, tracking becomes vanity. With review, tracking becomes a weapon. Adjust fast. Cut what is weak, double what is strong. This ruthless iteration is how champions accelerate while others stagnate. Make your key metrics visible at all times. Visibility creates pressure. Put your current numbers where you see them constantly. On your wall, your phone wallpaper, your journal cover. This keeps your mission alive in your mind all day. The human brain chases what it sees most. If your metrics are hidden, they die. If they are visible, they dominate your focus until they are conquered. Measurement protects you from emotion. Emotions fluctuate wildly. Some days you feel unstoppable. Some days you feel worthless. But the numbers don't care about your feelings. They show reality. They keep you grounded when pride tempts you to relax, and they keep you moving when discouragement tempts you to quit. The disciplined do not ask, "How do I feel?" They ask, "What do the numbers say?" This mindset builds unshakable consistency. Track leading indicators, not just lagging ones. Lagging indicators are the end results. Income, weight, followers, rankings, they move slowly. Leading indicators are the daily behaviors that drive those results. They move instantly. Measuring leading indicators keeps you empowered because you can change them now. Every day you hit your leading numbers, you win, even if the final result hasn't appeared yet. This creates confidence while you wait for outcomes to catch up. Measurement transforms identity. When you track like a professional, you start acting like one. You stop guessing. You stop drifting. You become data-driven, precise, and intentional. This shift rewires your self-image from amateur to elite. And identity drives behavior. Once you see yourself as a professional, mediocrity becomes intolerable. Never stop measuring. Most people track for a few weeks, then quit when boredom sets in. That is when decay begins. Measurement must become permanent. Success is not a single goal. It is a system of constant improvement. The moment you stop tracking, you stop growing. The elite measure forever because they know growth never ends. Understand this. What you measure multiplies. What you ignore decays. If you want extraordinary results, you cannot operate on feelings, guesses, or vague hope. You must operate on data. Data gives clarity. Clarity gives control. Control creates power, and power builds destiny. Track every step, count every rep, log every victory. Stare at the numbers until they bend to your will. Your goals are not wishes. They are equations. Measure every variable until the result is inevitable. When you measure relentlessly, you rip your future out of chance and place it under your control. Every great achievement in history was built on numbers, not noise. So become obsessed. Track with fury, review with cold precision, adjust like a machine, and do it every single day until your results scream louder than your words. Complexity kills momentum, but simplicity fuels unstoppable progress. If you want to achieve your goals with power and consistency, you must strip away every ounce of unnecessary complexity that slows your progress. The human mind has limited bandwidth. Every extra decision, every redundant task, every cluttered process drains mental energy that could be used to push you forward. The champions of achievement are not juggling chaos. They are orchestrating order. They build systems that run like well-oiled machines, where the mind is free to focus on high-value actions because the low-value actions are automated, streamlined, and simplified. Your brain thrives on clarity and despises friction. Each time you pause to decide what to do next, you risk slipping into hesitation. That hesitation becomes delay, and delay quietly becomes defeat. Automation removes hesitation. Simplification removes friction. Together, they remove the possibility of failure creeping in through the cracks of decision fatigue. Imagine waking up and having every critical action already mapped, cued, and triggered with almost zero thought. That is how you build momentum that never stops. Start by identifying the repetitive tasks that eat away at your time. They may seem small: setting up your workspace, choosing your workout routine, planning your meals, deciding what to focus on each day, but these decisions accumulate mental fatigue. Automate them, pre-plan your days the night before, so you wake up on offense, not defense. Set calendar reminders for recurring tasks. Batch similar tasks together and handle them at a fixed time each week so they stop stealing your attention throughout the day. Use technology as your silent assistant, not your distraction. Every task you can automate frees up bandwidth for deep, goal-driven work. But automation alone is not enough. You must also simplify. Ruthlessly eliminate anything that does not directly drive you toward your goal. Complexity is seductive because it feels like progress, but it's often just motion without momentum. Ask yourself every week, what can I remove? Not what can I add? Complexity multiplies resistance. Simplicity multiplies velocity. Remove extra steps, unnecessary tools, redundant routines, or distracting commitments. Create a clear, minimal pathway from action to result. If a task requires 10 steps, find how to reduce it to 3. If a process requires multiple approvals, restructure it to require none. Every barrier you remove is another burst of energy released toward your objective. This principle also applies to your mental systems. Create simple, repeatable rules that eliminate decision-making. For example, I work on my top priority every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., no exceptions. This eliminates the mental negotiation that sabotages discipline. Or if a task takes less than 2 minutes, I do it immediately. Small rules like these seem minor, but they save you hundreds of decisions over time, and each decision saved is energy redirected toward achievement. Simplicity turns discipline from an effort into a reflex. Automation and simplification also protect your willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It burns out when used constantly. The fewer decisions you must make, the more willpower you preserve for the critical moments that actually demand it. This is why high performers wear similar clothes, eat similar meals, and follow rigid schedules, not because they lack creativity, but because they are conserving their mental energy for where it matters most. Structure creates freedom. Simplicity creates power. Automation creates speed. Understand this truth? Success is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it relentlessly. Every unnecessary action dilutes your power. Every unnecessary choice divides your focus. Your job is to build a system where your focus flows in one clean stream, not scattered like rain on concrete. Automation channels your energy. Simplicity sharpens your aim. Together they turn chaos into momentum. Do not underestimate the power of this principle. Many people fail not because they lack talent or ambition, but because they drown in complexity. Their days are cluttered, their routines are chaotic, their minds are overloaded. They carry 1,000 half-finished tasks while completing none. If you want to stand apart, design your system to be so clean, so simple, so automated that progress becomes almost effortless. That is not laziness, it is mastery. When your system runs on simplicity, your mind becomes unstoppable. When your actions are automated, your momentum becomes inevitable. You will no longer need to feel motivated. You will simply execute because the path will be frictionless. The world rewards those who move fast and finish what they start. Simplicity is your speed. Automation is your engine. Use them ruthlessly, and your goals will have no choice but to fall before you. The moment you resist change, you begin decaying. The moment you embrace it, you become unstoppable. Success is not reserved for the strongest or the smartest. It belongs to the most adaptable. The landscape of achievement is constantly shifting. Plans that seemed solid yesterday can collapse tomorrow. Strategies that once worked flawlessly can become obsolete overnight. The world does not slow down for anyone. It moves forward mercilessly, and it will drag you under if you cling to rigidity. If you want to achieve your goals, you must become someone who adapts without hesitation, without ego, and without delay. You must evolve faster than circumstances can break you. This is not about survival. This is about domination. Most people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they freeze when reality shifts. They cling to their original plan as if it were sacred, as if abandoning it would mean admitting weakness. But pride is poison. The truth is, your plan is not your identity. Your purpose is. Your goal is the mountain, but your path will change with every storm. You must be willing to burn an old strategy to the ground the instant it stops serving you. Adaptation is not betrayal of your vision. It is the ultimate loyalty to it. You are not here to defend old methods. You are here to win. Adaptation begins with awareness. You must monitor your progress relentlessly, scanning for signs of stagnation. If something is no longer producing results, you cannot afford to ignore it. Reality always sends signals: declining momentum, rising frustration, diminishing returns. Do not take these as personal failures. Take them as feedback. Feedback is the fuel of adaptation. Every obstacle, every setback, every unexpected twist is data. The faster you process that data and adjust, the faster you recover your momentum. Winners are not the ones who avoid falling. They are the ones who bounce up so quickly it looks like they never fell. But awareness alone is useless without speed. When it is time to adapt, act instantly. Do not linger in hesitation, do not wallow in regret, and do not wait for conditions to become perfect. Conditions will never be perfect. Speed is power. The faster you pivot, the less momentum you lose. Most people let fear stall them. Fear of wasting their previous effort, fear of looking inconsistent, fear of starting over. These fears are illusions. The only thing that wastes your effort is continuing down a dead path. The only thing inconsistent is refusing to grow. The only thing worse than starting over is never reaching the finish. Adapt fast, adapt often, and adapt without apology. To adapt ruthlessly, you must also detach emotionally from your strategies. Do not marry your methods. Marry your mission. This detachment gives you the cold clarity to make hard decisions, to cut what is no longer working, to shift direction, even if it feels uncomfortable, to abandon what is familiar for what is effective. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If your current system feels comfortable, that is a warning sign that you may be stagnating. Growth is never comfortable. Adaptation requires courage, the courage to disrupt your own routines before life does it for you. The world punishes the complacent. It rewards the bold. Understand this. The environment will change. Markets will shift. People will leave. Tools will fail. Conditions will flip without warning. You cannot control these forces, but you can control your response. And your response must be aggressive adaptation. Think like a warrior in battle, adjusting formation, changing tactics, never emotionally attached to a single maneuver, only obsessed with victory. The warrior does not cry when the terrain shifts, he moves faster. The achiever does not crumble when the plan fails. They build a new one before the dust settles. That is the mindset that keeps you invincible. This mindset also protects your spirit. When you embrace adaptation, failure loses its power over you. Failure is no longer an endpoint, it is simply feedback for your next adjustment. Fear dissolves when you realize there is no final defeat, only the next version of you, stronger, smarter, faster. Each time you adapt, you prove to yourself that nothing can break you. That confidence compounds into unstoppable momentum. The world cannot crush a mind that refuses to stay rigid. Remember this law, your goals are fixed, but your path is fluid. The mountain stands, but the route will shift. If you demand that the path remain straight, you will break when it bends. But if you bend with it, you will rise while others fall. That is what separates the few who achieve greatness from the many who fade into excuses. Adaptability, relentless, fearless, ruthless adaptability. So burn this into your mind. When the world changes, you change faster. When your strategy cracks, you rebuild stronger. When resistance appears, you reinvent your approach. Adapt ruthlessly, and you become untouchable. No obstacle can trap you. No failure can define you. No storm can stop you. You will become a force that bends with the wind but never breaks. And in the end, you will rise higher than anyone who tried to stand still. Your energy is your empire, and your mindset is its throne. Protect them with absolute ferocity. Every goal you set, every system you build, every discipline you develop depends on one ultimate resource, your personal energy and your mental state. Without them, even the most brilliant plan will crumble under the weight of fatigue and doubt. The world is full of people with potential who never achieved anything remarkable, not because they lacked skill, but because they let their energy leak away and their mindset decay. If you want to dominate your goals, you must treat your energy and mindset as sacred assets. Nothing enters your mind without scrutiny, and nothing drains your energy without consequence. Energy is not just physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. When your energy is high, obstacles shrink, creativity flows, and execution becomes effortless. When your energy is low, even small tasks feel impossible. That's why the first duty of a high achiever is to build a fortress around their vitality. This means mastering the fundamentals with military discipline, sleep, nutrition, movement, and recovery. Too many people chase success while running on empty, thinking sheer willpower can compensate. It cannot. A depleted body cannot sustain a powerful mind. Guard your sleep like a weapon. Eat like your focus depends on it, because it does. Move daily, not for vanity, but to ignite your system. If you let your body decay, your drive will follow. But physical energy alone is not enough. Your mindset, the lens through which you view the world, is the true governor of your destiny. A strong mindset transforms adversity into fuel. A weak mindset turns minor friction into full collapse. Every day, the world will try to poison your mind with fear, doubt, and negativity. Most people consume this poison passively through the news they watch, the conversations they tolerate, and the thoughts they repeat. If you are not guarding your mind, you are surrendering it. Be ruthless about what you allow inside. Surround yourself only with people, information, and environments that feed your fire, not smother it. Silence the noise. Elevate your input. Protect your focus like it's oxygen. Your energy and mindset are also drained by invisible thieves, scattered attention, chronic overcommitment, and emotional clutter. Every open loop in your mind bleeds focus. Every toxic relationship siphons willpower. Every distraction fractures momentum. To guard your energy, you must cut these leaks with cold precision. Say no to anything misaligned with your mission. Simplify your environment until only what drives you remains. Create pockets of solitude where your mind can recover from the chaos of the world. High performance requires not just action, but recovery. You are not a machine. You are a force of nature, and even storms must rest to return stronger. Another crucial truth: energy multiplies through alignment. When your actions match your values, your energy surges. When they clash, you drain yourself through internal conflict. Many people feel exhausted not because they work too hard, but because they work against themselves, chasing goals they don't believe in, obeying routines that kill their spirit.